Kim. Just getting organized. I feel like I have a little bit of a lag here, so bear with me if things seem a little bit lagging. Just getting organized. I feel like I have a little bit of a lag here, so bear with me if things. Okay. Hi there. I'm Casey Christensen, coming to you live from West Kelowna. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to show you something really fun today. I've just been playing with some of the new things from the catalog. I wanted to take a moment and show you this, the suites that we have available in the new catalog. So I've been showing one a day, and this is another one. I posted this one up on my Facebook page. This is called Sun Prints, and this suite features the DSP, double-sided DSP, of course. All kinds of beautiful DSP there. I really like it. There's an embossing. Hold on, hang on. I gotta read here. Sun Prints. Yes, the Fern 3D embossing folder that you can see here. And these are the stamps. They're just gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. And when you're looking at these stamps, I don't know if you can notice it on the stamps, you can see that there's from your camera view, you're seeing that each one of these stamps has a light beige underlay. That means every time you see the light colored underlay, that means that one of these stamps cuts out that shape, okay? So there's a few sentiments here, great sentiments here that are going to be really lovely. And of course, if you just want to go with the bundle, there's a 10% savings associated with buying just the bundle. But for my money, I always tend to get the suite because then you've got everything. So between the embossing folder and the DSP, the embossing folder, I don't know, Kim, I can't see it. Fern 3D embossing folder. You've got your catalog there. It's on page 176. That'll tell you whether it's a big one or not. It looks to me like it's a smaller one. It looks like that, but don't quote me because I'm not sure. But I love the paper. I think the paper is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to get it. I have ordered this, so I'll be playing with this paper as soon as it comes. So today, it's Friday, and Friday at my house, when we lived in Coquitlam, Friday at my house was beer in the garage. Not that we did all that much beer drinking, but it's kind of like Ken's buddies would come over and we'd hang out in the garage among the toys, and we would have a beer and talk about the week and see what's going on. Well, having moved away from our house in Coquitlam, it's a little bit different here. Our friend is still here, but he's further away. They moved up here as well, and he's further away. But Friday has always been now it's kind of like a beer in the driveway situation, since we have such a big, beautiful concrete driveway that serves as quite a lovely patio. So today I thought we would have wine in the craft room. That's what we're having today, wine in the craft room. So I'm going to play with the Brewed for You stamp set. Now the Brewed for You stamp set has several things. It's got wines, it's got sleeves of beer, it's got mugs of beer, it's got the growlers, the beer growlers, and some fun sentiments here. I owe you one or several. Another round for your birthday. Oh, ale, yes. Okay, so those are the stamps, and it is the poly, I can never come up with that. The poly stamps. I may or may not be having a glass of wine. That's true, Kim. That's absolutely true. Polyphotomer. I don't know what it is. Anyways, it's not that there's one missing. I've already got it on a stamp, but it has these great backgrounds. I like the way they're doing these new poly sets because you can just take the pieces off and put them onto the case. Now, when you buy the set, these are stuck to this piece of window pane. And one day next week, I'm going to show you something that you can do with these pieces of window pane. So when you get your new set and you take them off the window pane and put them onto your case, do not throw away your window pane. You want to save that because that's going to come in pretty handy for a card that I'm going to show you how to do next week. So we're also going to use the dies, the Brewed dies. We've got a few things in here. You've got, I've got extra bits and pieces. I guess. So you got a few things here. I haven't quite sorted them all out yet, not entirely. I know this is froth on top of the beer. I know these are hops. So you've got your growler, your wine glass, but today we're just going to be using the wine glass. And I think that's all we're going to be using. So let's get started. We'll start with our card base. We're also going to use this one, which I know I told you we were going to use it the other day, and then I completely forgot that we were going to use it the other day. But it's this stitched Whimsy that we're going to put on the, these are really cute. These are not die cuts. These are like die embossings almost. These are really cute. So we're going to use one of these for the card that's going to go inside our card today. So I am using Cherry Cobbler. I started out, I'll show you one that I made earlier today. I made this card earlier today. And I started out using Merlot, Mary Merlot paper, because I was thinking Merlot, wine, you know. But if you look at the comparison between the two kinds of paper, I just think that the Cherry Cobbler is much more vibrant. It's a much more vibrant color. So we're going to use the Cherry Cobbler today. So I've got my standard cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5 with a score at 4 1/4 in the middle. I've got my first layer. This first layer is 4 1/4 by 4. Okay. And my next layer, which is DSP, is 3.5 by 4, and no, that's wrong. I'm lying. Hold on. I made some notes here. My DSP layer. Okay, my DSP layer is 5 by 3 3/4. Okay. So let me run that past you again. Standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you. We're doing coloring and wine today. Coloring and wine because it's Friday, so why wouldn't you, right? And so my next layer, which is my black, is 5 1/4 by 4, and my DSP layer from this lovely perfectly penciled DSP set is 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, so it's a wine themed card out of our Brewed for You stamp set. So let's start with our glass of wine. So we're going to need our glass of wine, and we're going to need, well, we need our glass and then we need our wine. They're two separate things. So I'm going to use the Stamparatus. It was my experience when I was playing with this morning that I didn't get a very clear stamp. So we're going to use the Stamparatus for this. We want to make ourselves two glasses of wine. So I'll place it down here a bit so I'm not, oh, I think what I'll do is I can get both glasses out of there. Okay. Line that all right back up there again. And we'll give it a shot of Memento. This is Tuxedo Black Memento. And where's my funky tool? There's my funky tool. Give that a little hit. And that's okay, but I'd like it a little crisper, so I am going to do it a second time. Nothing like a little wine on a Friday, don't you think? I'm actually not having wine yet. I'm going to, though, because we're making linguini with the wine sauce, and so I haven't opened the bottle yet. So for this one, I'm just going to turn it over rather than move my stamp or anything. I'm just going to turn it over. The other thing I can do, and I'll show you what's cool about the Stamparatus, is this comes off. So you could take this off. The plate comes right off, so you could take it off, pop it down, and there I have it in another place that works for me. Do you see how easy that was? So you're not having to move your paper around or keep adjusting your stamps or keep moving your stamps. which for me just results in ink all over my fingers. So, yeah, a little bit darker still, I think. So I spent today kind of watching videos and seeing what people are doing with the new stuff, because there's so much new stuff out there. A lot of people have gotten their orders already. I don't know how they do. Well, I do know how they do that, but it's horribly expensive. You can, if your normal order is your normal mailing, but you can pay a small fortune to have it delivered to you the next day. And I know that there are people who do that. You know, like we have people who are several $million Stampin' Up demonstrators. So for those people, I think I would probably be jumping in and doing the crazy shipping as well and having it the very next day. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to fill our glasses with wine. So rather than the Merlot, which I wasn't crazy about the color of, I am going to use cherry cobbler. Even though the Merry Merlot kind of suggests glasses of wine, I'm going to use the cherry cobbler. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll put my plate back up to the top where it belongs, line everything up, and then I can take my wine and place it on my glass where I think is appropriate. And then we'll ink that up. I keep forgetting to put a stamp head under here because I'm working on an angle, which is not good. So try and remember to put a stamp head under there so you're not trying to ink up on an angle. I think that looks pretty good. I might have had a... Yeah, it's not as dark as I would like it to be. See the detail that's in that wine? It's got little reflections where the wine is sitting. It's more than just a straight flat stamp. It's got a little bit more to it than that. I like that about these stamps. There we go. There's a nice glass of wine. Now the chances of this lining up just by putting this down like I did before are pretty much slim to none. Oh, for goodness sakes. Awfully darn close though. So I'm not going to take that chance. I am going to clean it off and give it another inking and just clean it. Okay. I need to dry it off a little bit so that when I put it down, it's not going to keep sticking to my finger. Let go of me. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this back up to the top. I still don't think that's quite right. Ah, I can't get it to let go of me to place it, so I'm going to get my tool and see if I can. Okay, I think that's it. Didn't get any over on the edge there. I'm not sure that's a good stamping. I think it might not be. No, it's not. I'm going to move this. I think what the problem is, I'm trying to get it too close to the very edge there. So let me just move that. I'm not happy with the way that's stamped. I think it looks a little messy. Okay, let's get my magnet. Maybe I'm just trying to do it too close to the edge, I think is what the problem is. The first one's okay, I don't mind the first one, but the second one I'm not fond of. So let's get my glass of wine again. We'll do another one right about there. And just remember to line it up on a line that you know of. I've got this lined up on a line here. So I know that if my paper moves, I can just aim to line it up on the very same line again, okay? So that you're able to make sure you, in case you have to stamp it twice, which I'm pretty sure I will have to. Yeah, I'm going to do it again. Now, it didn't move at all, so that's fine. I can just go ahead and stamp it again. It's a little goopy, a little tiny bit goopy. Doesn't make me happy up at the top there. You see it? Okay, let's take this off. Yep, covered in ink I am. All right. Let's, okay, that looks better. And it did move, so let's put it back on that line while getting ink all over it. Having an inky day. Better, but I still want a little bit more. Okay. Hopefully this is all. Yes. Okay, so I like two of those. The one I didn't like, but I like the two of them. Let me just get my scissors and I can separate them. See, I like the detail that it gives you. Here, when you're looking at the wine, I like the detail that it's definitely a glass of wine. It's not just two stamping. The glass has detail and the wine has reflection, light reflection on it. And it gives it a really nice detailed look. Okay, so let's put that out of the harm's way before I wear any more of it. And our wine glass, put that away. And that's it for our Stamparatus for the moment. Okay, now, just give me one moment to kind of clean myself off here before I get ink everywhere, because I know I'm going to. I know I'm going to. There we go. Oh, sure. So she pulls out 5 of them at one time. That's excellent. Excellent. Oh, well, I'll save those for... Oh, okay. All right, so I've got my ink cleaned off of myself. We are going to do some more stamping, but not at the moment. All right, so I've got my 2 glasses. I'm going to get out my little embossing machine here. My little, oops, my little buddy. And I'll get my number 3 plate and 2 clear plates. And I'll get some washi tape. And where's my tray? There we are. And here's my wine glass. And we'll just give that a little bit of a tape because I know I'm going to move it like crazy. I was watching a whole bunch of strictly technique style videos today. I was just in the mood. Sometimes I get in the mood where I just want to watch something, and TV to me seems like too much of a waste of time. So I watch videos and see if I can learn new things. And I saw some fun things. Unfortunately, most of them I don't have the requirements or the current requirements to play with those things. But with my new stuff coming hopefully on Monday or Tuesday, I'm saying Tuesday, well they say Monday, but you know, I always like to, there's always a little bit of leeway there. Look at how cute that glass of wine is, right? Whoops. Isn't that cute? Well, that's a deep red glass of wine. We're having white tonight because that's what I need for my sauce. I'm making linguini with prawns. And by I mean my husband is. My husband does all the cooking, which is pretty handy for me since I'm not all that fond of it. I'm not as sharp as I used to be, and I do little crazy things like forget ingredients and I'll never forget, I had my grandchildren over and their boyfriends or their significant others, and I made this cake, and it was this chocolate loaf cake, and then I got ice cream to have with it, and I realized as soon as I took a bite out of my dessert, I'd completely forgotten the sugar. Completely forgotten the sugar. So it was chocolate cake with no sugar. However, paired with ice cream, it wasn't as bad as you might think. Would it be better with the sugar? Yeah, probably. But paired with ice cream, it wasn't all that bad. Karen, what don't you see? I missed that. Okay. 2 little glasses of wine. All right. Okay, so there's my little bit there. Get my, oh yeah, sometimes when I stamp it, you can't, it's up here in this corner where there's a little more black ink than there should be. Sometimes when you stamp it, I guess maybe I press too hard and so the stamp compresses. But the scary part for me is it takes that a while to dry. So that was what I was worried about there, was that. Okay, we're going to need this again when we do our sentiment, but let's get on with some coloring just because it's so much fun to do. So I chose this card, or this cardstock, or DSP, because any DSP that's black and white to me just screams color me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to color this. So I've got my beautiful colors that I'm going with here. This the cherry cobbler and the granny apple green, both shades of granny apple green in my cards. So I think they're going to look really sharp together. So let's just do a little coloring here. I'm going to start with my, there's always the dilemma. People never know whether to start with their light and then move to their dark when they're doing the shading. I tend to put my light color down first, then add my dark, because I can always go back and blend a little more with my lighter color if I want to. I can draw the color out with my lighter color if I want to. So I'm not going to color this whole thing. I'm just going to selectively choose a few places that I want to add color. And I don't even color the whole thing. I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but I don't go in and make sure I'm right up to the lines. I just throw some color down, okay? I'm just throwing some color down, and it doesn't mean I'm going right to the edges. I don't mind that there's a little bit of white showing. It's a little bit more of an artistic color rather than an exact color. I am going to do my best to do these stems because I think the stems are a little bit important. But it takes a bit of a steady hand because they're very narrow stems. So I'm really just going to do the ones that are in, I think I'm just going to choose 3 of them to color. And I'll leave the rest black and white. It's very artsy-fartsy to do that. Once I've laid down my first coloring of this granny apple green, I'll then go back and see if I want to have the dark, where the shadowing is on the actual DSP. You can see the shadowing. They give you the shadowing. They show you where to shadow, which is very, very nice. I do like that about the Stampin' Up stamps, is yeah. So see, I've got just a little bit of shadowing, not too much color either. So I'm going to start by coloring my my flowers. I think I'll do that one more down there, you know. I think I will. This one down here, I think I'm going to do this one as well. You know, it's all personal. You just sort of look at it and see what looks right to you. I love the idea of a black and white DSP, but I also love the idea of just throwing a little color into it, giving it a little bit of depth, just wherever you feel like it needs some. Okay, now, unfortunately, pay no attention to my cherry cobbler blends because they're in a bit of a state. Actually, this one's not. The ends are looking a little hairy. They're looking a little bedraggled. So I'm just going over the color somewhat lightly. See, just like that. I'm not going crazy and coloring out every single little detail of it. I'm just sort of, and I'm using the light one first, and then I'll see how I feel about adding the dark one. I don't even know that I will, because the light one is actually pretty dark. You see? I've had my blends for, well, since they came out, so some of them, the tips are a little, as careful as I try to be when I'm using them, I guess I do kind of, I guess it can be a little hard on the tips from time to time, so. And I think this one too. See that? It's just a splash of color. Now, I'm just going to go in here and see what this will do if I add any of the dark one. And I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to. The light one is very, very dark in and of itself, so I really don't think I want to add anything more than that. So I'm not going to. And then, so this is going to be kind of a bit of a quickie card, but I thought I would show you some other things. If you're interested, I thought I would show you some other things in the catalog that have really caught my eye, because as you know, I'm struggling with a little bit with having current dyes. It doesn't matter for you as a casual stamper. It doesn't matter that you are working with things that aren't current, but for me it matters. I think I need a little bit more color on that one. For me it matters, so I'm having trouble. Come Monday or Tuesday I'll have some new things, so that will certainly help. But in the meantime, I'm trying to think of what other things I can do for sentiments, because I'm limited as to what I can use for my sentiments and whatnot. So I'm going to place this card, or this DSP, on my card base. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going from here. I'm just sort of playing it by ear like I usually do. Okay, and let's just lay this down as evenly as we possibly can. I think that looks pretty okie dokie to me. And look at that on this cardstock. I just think this is such a beautiful cardstock. I'm really lagging, so just bear with me. Okay, I know I'm lagging. I can tell just from looking at my I might have a neighbor here. Oh, okay, no worries, Kim. Don't worry about that. We get all kinds of drop-ins here. It's amazing, actually. Okay, so this is my, I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to want anything else on there, but I don't think I am. So I'm going to take my little wine glasses. Now, if you can see on here, I do too, Kim. Well, I've always been a fan of black and red, and the deeper the red, the better for me. As you can see here, on these wine glasses, I used a little bit of Pool Party, which is quite often what we use to kind of signify things that are glass or see-through. But while I'm looking at it on here, I'm not sure I'm overly fond of it. So I'm going to give it a miss for the moment. I'm going to leave it off of there. And I'm going to put my wine glasses on here. I'm trying to decide if I want to put them on something, and I think I do. I'm going to get a piece of black cardstock. And I have a punch here. This is kind of like a postage stamp punch. I kind of like it. Stampin' Up has done away with all like their circle punches and things like that. So I'm finding it, I think I need another one. I'm finding it difficult to come up with shapes that are usable right now, but I am working on that. And I'm just playing right now, just trying to see what I can come up with here for these glasses of wine. I don't even know if that's gonna work. I don't know. I don't think I like that. I think I need a bigger shape. So let's see what we got here. Well, I can cut one of these circles, because I think a circle might be better. You know, I just don't know. I'm at a bit of a loss. That's too small. That's definitely too small. Let's see. Let's try this. Let's try this just for fun. And I'm going to cut it. I'm just going to use I'm going to cut it to the width of my card, not the width of that, not the width of the DSP, but to the width of my card. I can't even see it. Maybe that will do it. I just want something to plant those wine glasses on. They just don't look good just sitting right on the card. So I'm thinking, okay, let's put this together and see what we come up with. Nothing like having a plan and then completely losing it. But that's okay. That's pretty much how my card making works. I think I know exactly what I'm doing, and then I don't. But that's okay. That's okay. It gets the creative juices flowing. So let's make sure this is right side up, because upside down would just be wrong. A little bit lower. And let's see what happens if we do this. Let's get some dimensionals. Well, that's what I'm thinking too. They do kind of disappear, don't they? So let's put that across about there where we don't have too much coloring. And then we'll pop our wine glasses. I think I'm just going to put one dimensional in the middle of each one. Or possibly two. Yeah, maybe two would be better. Be a little stronger if I have to nail this one. goodness. I have my fingernails are coming off, and so it's hard to grab onto things. One there, and let's put the other one right about there. They don't actually have to be standing up. I think I've got a dimensional where it shouldn't be, so I'm going to take it off. It's too high up. It's going to interfere. There we go. Now I have a sentiment in mind, and I have a die for it. So let's get a small piece of, oh, that was a little too small. And I think I'm going to use the cherry cobbler to stamp it in because it's such a pretty color. And it says another round for your birthday. So it is specifically a birthday card, which is not something I do a lot of, but I do like the sentiment. So let's see how this looks stamped in the, yeah, that's pretty. Now this is going to be a tight fit. Let's get everything out of the way here. And I want to use this die cut, because like I said, I'm limited on my die cuts here. So I'm going to use this die cut and some washi tape. And this is just a really, really tight sort of a fit, but I already tried it out once today and it's okay. So let me just trim that so I can put it in the machine on an angle. You always want to put ones like this on, you don't want them to run through like this. You always want to kind of put them on an angle. I kind of make a habit of doing that because it just seems to be a sharper cut rather than trying to go along that edge flat. So if it's angled as it goes in, it's just a better situation all the way around. You got plans for the weekend, Karen? Got any plans coming up? We have a few things going on this weekend. We've been doing some yard stuff, and so we've got a few things. See that? It's a tight fit, but it fits, and I quite like it actually. I think it looks quite good. So now what we're going to have to do on this one is we're going to have to glue the end that goes against the wine. I think, let's see. And then dimensional on the other end because of the different layers. So let's get a couple of dimensionals for the long end. And then I'll have to get some glue out for the other end. Okay, so a couple of dimensionals. That's going to, okay, and some glue. A little bit of glue at that end. Okay. Yeah, I've got some sewing to do as well. Yeah. There, I'm kind of liking that. Now, I was going to color rhinestones for the jewels, but I'm not so sure now. I think I would rather have the black ones. I know I use them too much, but they seem to work for so many things, right? Oh, do I have any? I must have them. There's no way I'm out of those. There they are. The little black dots I think are appropriate for the gems. Just the small ones. Glad you're back. Yeah, I've got some sewing to do too. I think I've got to get some catching up done because I'm in the craft fair at Thanksgiving, and I know that sounds like a long ways away, but you and I both know how quickly that's going to sneak up on me. I'm taking that off. I'm putting it down here instead because I'm going to put this little one. Oh, if I can. Oh, there it is. And then just sort of a what the heck factor. Let's put one up here. Cute, right? I kind of like that. I didn't start out liking it, but I kind of like it. Sometimes it's okay to just wing it and see what you come. I love the black dots. I use them. I feel like I use them too much though, but whatever works, right? Sometimes they're just the right thing. Like these ones, for this card I colored the rhinestones like I like to do, but I'm not sure I like the sparkly so much. So I think I'm happier with the black dots. I'm gonna have to order myself some more of those because I do use them a lot. And then for the inside of the card, I've got my piece of, please tell me I've got my piece of, and that I didn't use it. Well, here it is. So I've got my piece of white that I'm going to do for the inside, and I don't know if I want to stamp anything on it. No, I don't think I do. I do want to have the piece of white in here because you want to be able to have something to write on, but I don't really think I want to stamp anything on it. The only thing that comes to mind is the glass of wine, but there's already 2 glasses of wine on the front, so I don't think I need to do that. So what I'm using here, these are called Stitched with Whimsy, and although they look like a die cut, they're not a die cut at all. So what you want to do with these is you want to cut the size of the inside card that's going to be your finished size, because there's no further trim from here. We're not cutting, we're sort of, I don't know, for lack of, we're embossing, but we're actually kind of poking holes. So you want to lay that on your inside base card as straight as you can, get it nice and even. And then I think, I don't know if I can roll this through. No, I'll have to leave you for 1 second and pop this through the bigger one. There we go. Okay. So what this does is it just gives your inside paper a little character. It just gives it a little bit more than just having a plain piece of paper inside. So you get this kind of nice detail. All right. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is quite pretty. So that's just going to get popped in here. And I need to roll it a little bit. I do find that with that particular die, it kind of rolls the paper a little bit. So I just want to roll it back a bit. Okay. And there. So then you've got plenty of room on there to write whatever you want. Write a little letter, just stamp a nice happy birthday sentiment or something. And there you have it. Just a nice, cute little, not too difficult, fairly simple birthday card. A little bit of coloring, a little bit of stamping, but not too much of anything. So this one I did a little bit differently, but I wasn't quite as I may go back and visit this this fold that I did here again at some point, but I wasn't overly jazzed with the card, and I think that the main thing was changing from the Mary Merlot to the Cherry Cobbler. The Mary Merlot, it was my go-to because I was doing wine glasses, and I just thought Merlot, right? But no, I don't think so. I don't like this. It looks rather dull in comparison, but I'm really happy with the card done in the Cherry Cobbler. It's just, it's such a rich color. So I wanted to show you a couple of, just a couple of dies that I have on my list because I'm always short of 168 to 175 because I'm always short of dies for cutting sentiments and whatever. And there's 2 sets that have come out that are actually 3 that are amazing. So I'm going to hold this up so you can see it a bit. But these are called deckled rectangles. Now you can see these in your catalog. I'm sure you all have your catalogs by now. These to me are very, very exciting. I can't wait to get to use these because they sort of look like a little bit of a rough edge, maybe almost like a bit of a torn edge on there. That's one I've ordered for sure. And then because Stampin' Up! Has gone out of all their punches, I'm also ordering these layered circles because I think those will be sort of invaluable in terms of sentiments and platforms to lay things down on. So you've got your regular ones as well as the scalloped ones, and I do like the scalloped ones. And then there's one other that is all new that everybody's using right now and is here's the Stitched with Whimsy. So this is what I use, this Stitched with Whimsy here. That's what I used. And then the other set that I'm ordering is this one right here, which has some of everything. It's called Stylish Shapes. So you've got some tags, you've got some circles without repeating the other circles, and you've got some squares. And other than that, we don't have any squares. So kind of fun ones. So those are my next. Those are next on my list. I do have a lot of paper coming. My order, like I said, is supposed to arrive on Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to take the weekend off. We've got some things coming up this weekend and some yard work and stuff that we want to do. So I won't be live throughout the weekend. Yeah, I'm so excited about the stuff in the catalog. It's all I can do not to order like one of everything, which would be a really bad thing to do. But yeah, I'm going to take the weekend off. We'll see what time my order arrives on Monday. If it arrives during the day, I think I'll do an unboxing for my live on Monday and show you some of the things that I got, and then we can start playing with all my new stuff and see what we can come up with. So a little bit short today. I'm going to go off and make some dinner for my husband. Thank you for joining me. Again, you can always check me out on Facebook, Stampin' with Casey, Instagram, Stampin' with Casey, and YouTube, Stampin' with Casey. So any of those things, you can check me out and see what I'm up to. In the meantime, I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next time, probably Monday, unless if I decide to pop on during the weekend, you'll get your 30-minute notice. But other than that, I'm planning on getting out in the yard and doing some fun things in the sun. So bye for now.